Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Speaking of Paul Harvey, something making the rounds on the interwebs out there is something he said about climate change decades ago. And here's what Paul Harvey had to say about it.
And with the willing complicity of headline-hungry media, a recent crisis of the month had to do with global warming. An ozone hole is opening up over the United States, we were told, the effects of which were already measurable in an increase in skin cancer. On the contrary, destroying chlorine around the polar vortex has been declining since January. A major objective of a recent shuttle mission was to determine the scope and scale of the so-called ozone hole, and the silence since has been deafening from those whose livelihood depends on creating crises. Recent data from the Upper Atmosphere Research Satellites affirms that any problem is less, it's not greater. Ozone levels fluctuate all of the time, partly because of volcanic activity and solar flares. But MIT's technology review has made an exhaustive study of worldwide ocean temperatures since 1851. Has concluded that there appears to have been little or no global warming over the past century. In fact, the net rise in world surface temperature during the last century, which was about 1%, almost all occurred before 1940, and that was before aerosols, and that has since been reversed. Former NASA chief Robert Jastrow and former Scripps director William Nierenberg, past president of the American Academy of Sciences, Frederick Seitz, all have concluded in a scathing rebuke of those who make money by predicting global warming, quote, if we allow ourselves to be influenced by press release, we could spend $1 trillion over the next decade destroying what's left of the American economy in an utterly unnecessary attempt to repeal the Industrial Revolution.
Exactly. Good stuff.
So
really good stuff.
Good day.
Interesting at the bottom, Cap Cities, ABC. That's long gone, of course. Long gone. It's now Disney, ABC. But he was fantastic. What did he die? 2009? Is that what we said the other day?
Yes.
At 90?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So he would have been probably 73 then, 72, 73, somewhere in there. And still looked and sounded great, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He was a spry 70-year-old.
Unlike other 70-year-olds.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, he was 90 when he died.
Jeez. Really good stuff. And he was so smart. You know, he had a lot of information. And this was before the internet, too. So the guy knew a lot of things and studied a lot of information. So he knew what he was talking about. People didn't challenge Paul Harvey.
No.
That I remember. You didn't want to mess with that. You weren't going to win that. Also, a debate has been sparked after Spain's government moved to prevent offices, shops, and other venues from setting air conditioning below 27 degrees Celsius in the summer.
Do we know what that is, actually?
It could be 27 below. It could be 2,700 degrees. I don't know. There's no way to tell.
Okay. They just know they're upset about it.
People have estimated it might be about 81 degrees.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
81
for your thermostat?
Degrees.
My thermostat doesn't even go up that high. Oh, come on. That number is never on the screen.
Set your air conditioning to 81? No. No.
If it's 81 in my house, the AC is broken.
Right. Oh, for sure. Yes, there's no question. If my house gets to 75, I'm like, good.
What the
hell is going on?
Who messed with this?
What is happening? Because it's too hot. It's too hot at 75.
Yes.
It's part of the plan to cut the country's energy consumption, though, and limit dependency on Russian gas. The decree, published on Tuesday, will also stop heating from being raised above 19 degrees Celsius during the winter.
I'll look that up.
All right. Look that up. See if they have estimates on what that might be, because there's no way to tell.
66.2.
I was going to say 27 is 80, right? So
That's chilly in the winter. Probably not doing that either. Sorry. Probably not doing that.
put a sweater on.
In fact, for sure, I'm not doing that. My wife certainly isn't doing that. I'm cold. Burr, it's cold. I'm cold. But too late, though. Too late for the...
81, Jackie.
Look, we already
Yeah, I know. The rules will be mandatory in all public and commercial buildings, including bars, cinemas, theaters, airports, and train stations. It's extended as a recommendation to Spanish households.
It's a recommendation.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
To
you
households,
can recommend whatever you want.
It's required for businesses. So you're going to sit there in a movie.
Nope.
Watching a movie 81 degrees.
I'm actually not. I'm not going to.
No, I'm not.
No.
See, that's going to hurt business.
Big time.
And this is a fallout from, they're saying, Russia.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Which, again...
You should have learned your lesson when Trump talked about it. But no, they didn't. They mocked him instead.
You might be able to make some money in Spain, sell some extra deodorant.
Maybe. I think deodorant's banned in France. I know that. I think it might be banned in Spain as well.
Do something about that.
Yeah. Somebody sent this clip to us. Speaking of Donald Trump, we got this fun clip from Donald. This was, what, a few months ago?
Yeah, it was still cold.
Maybe.
He's in a coat giving one of his rallies.
Okay, here he is.
Everything's about America last. We're destroying our country like never before.
Yep.
We've never been in a position like this ever before. We're laughed at. We're scorned all over the world. They don't respect us. They don't fear us. And they don't like us. That's a bad combination. This is the single most dangerous time for our country in history. Far more dangerous than World War I or World War II. And that's because of the power of nuclear weapons. And yet you have people like John Kerry worrying about the climate. The climate. Oh, I heard that the other day. Here we are, guys, threatening us. He's worried about the ocean will rise 1/100% over the next 300 years.
They love it.
Don't think I've ever heard that from a sitting or former
No doubt.
president.
It's crazy. These people.
How dare you?
All right. There we go. Oh, good stuff there. So, yeah, I was thinking the same thing that you just said, Jeffy. It's the same message from Paul Harvey, just delivered
A little
differently.
Delivered by Trump, yeah.
Yeah. Quite differently.
I mean, Paul didn't.
No, Paul didn't use the F word.
No, he did not.
No.
Boy, that would be shocking.
That would. I can't imagine it.
My brain wouldn't be able to handle that.
Also, yesterday was a big Alex Jones trial.
Yes, it was.
So he was ordered to pay Sandy Hook parents more than $4 million. He's been ordered to pay, and that's just the compensatory damages.
Correct. Punitive,
They're going
they
for
decide
punitive today, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, wow, that could get a lot worse.
That could go up. And there's another trial coming.
One more?
Right? Yeah, I think there's one more trial coming with him.
So only 3 of the Sandy Hook parents sued
I'm
him?
not sure how many parents. I'm not sure how many were involved in total suing him. But, we had a couple here, and there's another trial coming. And I'm not sure how many are involved in that. But, I mean, now they claim in this trial that Alex, between the years of 2015 and 2018, made $165 million.
What?
Well, yeah, and there's one
What?
point.
Whoa.
Yeah, as we'll learn, the texts from his phone were accidentally all released by his attorney, who, by the way, did such a terrible job.
He accidentally released.
Yeah, well, they sent
Alex's
they
texts?
sent the entire file to the prosecution.
I tell you what, this clip will actually explain it. Clip 4, And what he's going to go through, the prosecuting attorney is going to explain what happened. And keep in mind that this revealed, what was it, Jeffy, that there was a point where Alex Jones was making $800,000 a day from InfoWars?
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad.
Yeah, watch this clip here.
So you did get my text messages. And it said you didn't. Nice trick.
Yes, Mr. Jones. Indeed. You didn't give this text message to me. You don't know where this came from. Do you know where I got this?
No.
I sent it to you.
Mr. Jones, did you know that 12 days ago, your attorneys messed up and sent me an entire digital copy of your entire cell phone with every text message you've sent for the past 2 years, and when informed, did not take any steps to identify it as privileged or protect it in any way. And as of 2 days ago, it fell free and clear into my possession. And that is how I know you lied to me when you said you didn't have text messages about Sandy Hook. Did you know that?
I told you the truth. This is your Perry Mason moment. I gave them my phone, and then...
Mr. Jones, you need to answer the question.
No,
the judge hates Alex.
No, I didn't know this happened. But I mean, I told you I gave them the phone over. Just
answer the question. You said in your deposition, you searched your phone. You said you pulled down the text, did the search function for Sandy Hook. That's what you said, Mr. Jones, correct?
And I had several different phones with this number, but I did, yeah. Well, of course. I mean, that's why you got it.
No, Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
That's not why I have it.
My lawyer sent it to you, but I'm hiding it. Okay.
Mr. Jones, please just answer questions. There's no question.
That's a good point.
Mr. Banks.
It sure is. I'm on Alex's side here.
Sure. Mr. Jones, in discovery, you were asked, do you have Sandy Hook text messages on your phone? And you said no, correct?
Yeah, he said he searched for them.
You said that under oath. Mr. Jones, didn't you?
I mean, if I was mistaken, but you got the messages right there.
You know what perjury is.
You know what perjury is.
Before we go any further, you know what it is.
No, I don't know what that is.
Yes, I do.
Can you explain
I'm
it
not
to
a
me?
tech guy. I told you I gave in my testimony the phone to the lawyers before or whatever, and so you got my phone, but we didn't give it to you.
No, Mr. Jones. One more time.
One more time.
And please remember, if you need to assert the Fifth Amendment, you can. I need to know that you can do that.
Wow, gave me the option on the Fifth Amendment there.
So he said, but the thing is that the reason I'm kind of on Alex's side here is that it's a
civil trial, though, right? It's not a criminal trial. He doesn't have Fifth Amendment privilege there.
He said, when he was being deposed, he said, I searched my phones and I didn't have anything, any text messages. Okay, well, he's not a phone expert. He just uses
He said
his
he's
phone.
not a tech guy. I'm not a tech guy.
And you got my phone. That's what his point is.
Right.
You're telling me.
Okay, my lawyer sent it to you, but I'm trying to hide it.
Right, okay.
Okay.
And the judge
Brilliant.
throughout
That's
the
a
trial
great point.
hates Alex
clearly.
Jones. Man.
Clearly.
She hates him.
Yeah.
Judge, what's her freaking name? Judge
I don't know.
Maya Guerra Gamble. She hates Alex.
She's not a fan. No, I'm guessing
not.
she's not a regular visitor to InfoWars.
Oh, she is not.
I will say, Alex Jones did call Sandy Hook a hoax. So if that's what this is about, he did do that. I mean, I don't know what you're going through his cell phone for. You've got the recordings. We had the recordings until my machine died 2 weeks ago.
Oh, so you're saying your machine died?
I'm saying my machine died.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, your attorney actually sent us a digigal copy.
Did he?
Of
Okay,
every
good.
file.
Then you have it. Then good. Can you send me some of it back? I'd love to have it. He was also asked about Jeffrey Epstein, and here's his response.
Even within the past couple months, is your allegation that government officials are aiding in pedophilia,
Yes.
child trafficking,
Absolutely.
and the grooming of children,
Yes.
right?
You mean like what Jeffrey Epstein did with the Clintons?
Well played. Well played.
Except that's not the government, really. It's people who have been in the government, but it's not the government.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
That's not an official government thing.
Okay, Fed.
Jeffrey Epstein and what he was doing was not tied into the government.
Okay.
Say what you will about it, but he was
Wow.
not
Okay.
tied
Let's
in
write that down.
to the government.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Okay, it's your contention that the government was sponsoring Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton going to this island? Is that your contention?
Not sponsoring, but were government
then what? What are they doing?
I'm trying to answer
they certainly
you.
were complicit.
They were on the plane, absolutely. Where the hell's the black book? I want to see every name in there.
I don't know.
I guarantee you, if Bill Clinton, the president of the United States, was on those planes, you can guarantee that other people involved in the government were on that plane.
You can't guarantee it, but I mean, it's possible.
No, you cannot guarantee it.
It's possible.
Well, I'm not going to defend the government in this case for sure. I'm never going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
I'm not going to defend the Clintons, but who knows when they did this? It was in the 2000s. All right, they were both out of office when he did this. Okay. That's what it was. They were out of office.
Okay. Then
Good.
Let's leave it there. Bill Clinton was a good guy until he got out of office, and then he started going to Epstein Island. Okay.
That's not what I said, Keith.
What?
That's not what I freaking said.
That's not what he
said. I didn't say Bill Clinton was a good guy until he got out of office.
Okay, so
I said he was going to this island when he was out of office.
When he was out of office.
If you want to
technically, that's not the government.
Alex Jones, go ahead. But I'm not going
to Alex Jones?
And buy into his pedophile government stuff.
Okay.
Because he says that all the time.
He does.
I mean, we have that.
Yes, he does.
We had. I don't know if we have it anymore, but we definitely have him saying that in the past.
Jeez.
No question. But he denies a lot of stuff on the stand and then gets slapped down.
Yeah.
You know, like they asked him about during the trial. He was still doing a show during the trial every day. Mm-hmm. And they asked him about, are you showing pictures of the judge here in this trial on fire? And he goes, no. And they show the clip from the show. Pretty fun. We had just play that. There's so much.
You're saying, Mr. Jones, that you're taking these court proceedings seriously. You're approaching them in good faith. But the truth of the matter is, you've been broadcasting repeatedly a picture of our judge on fire, haven't you?
Oh. Objection compound, Your Honor. No.
There's a
the
picture.
person on the left of this image is our judge, correct?
Yes.
The person on the right is another judge you don't like, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
But it wasn't this judge.
But it was.
It was.
Yeah, the one on
it was
the
this
one
judge.
on the screen, on stage left there was a definite.
So why do you contend that this judge doesn't like Alex Jones?
I mean, there's. I know. I mean, there's other clips that we can get to on overtime today. I mean, I've got a bunch of stuff through the trial
with
that
so
is.
much.
There's really good stuff from this trial from Alex.
All right, let me tell you about Rough Greens. If you're a dog owner and you love your pet, you want the best for your pet. Your dog is part of your family. So you need Rough Greens in your dog's life. First of all, they love it. My dog absolutely loves this stuff and wouldn't eat her dog food without Rough Greens sprinkled on top of it. Plus, it puts back into your dog's food all the vitamins and minerals, the probiotics and antioxidants that your dog needs. It's not dog food. It's a dog food supplement that you sprinkle on top of your dog's food. And Rough Greens is so confident that your dog is going to love this. They'll send you a free bag just to make sure before you jump in with both feet. So all you have to do is take care of the shipping. You get a free bag of Rough Greens for your dog to try out. When you go to roughgreens.com, RUFF Greens, roughgreens.com, or call 833-783-3364.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
All right. So we'll cover the rest of this on Overtime?
We certainly can. I mean, there's a ton of stuff. I mean, he argues with the judge argues with him. I have a little testimony from Scarlett Lewis, one of the family, one of the mothers of one of the dead children, where she was speaking directly to Alex, and we have Alex on the stand. Alex on the stand does an ad. I mean, damn near does a commercial for his supplements on the stand.
I love that.
It's awesome
That's
stuff.
funny.
It's really good.
Well, that's
really
how you
good.
make $800,000 a day.
Right.
Jeez.
And he talks to the judge, starts reprimanding him about having gum in his mouth, and he's like, I'm not chewing any gum. It's not gum. And he's I'm massaging a hole in my mouth. I had a tooth taken out, and it's just fun. It's just fun.
By the way, one of the fallouts
it's fun for me.
From the release of all of Alex Jones's texts and emails and all that good stuff was that the prosecuting attorney, has said that, yeah, I'm going to hand over these January 6th related texts to the January 6th committee. So now you're going to have that angle for.
Well, yeah, I mean, these people,
Miss Cheney
they hate Alex, so they're going to do everything they can.
Yeah, they're going to try to pin him to January 6th.
Yep.
That he, what?
I don't. He was there.
Planned it.
He was there.
I know he was there.
I mean,
he's always there.
And actually, I recall, wasn't there
That's a good point.
video of Alex Jones
Always
telling
there.
people not to storm the Capitol?
I feel like there was,
yeah,
right? I feel
yeah.
like there was when he was outside on the grounds there with his bullhorn.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. And I don't know if it was a mistake that the attorneys sent the full file.
I mean, that is
they treated it like
idiocy.
it was a mistake, but that's the information. I mean, they ended up getting the information they wanted. So,
and then they had a chance to what was a privilege? What did the lawyer speak? I mean, the attorneys could have said, "No, you can't use that."
They tried.
Oh.
They tried,
Okay.
and they were like, "No, you sent it. It's too bad."
Also, yesterday, FBI Director Christopher Wray testified about hate symbols, and we talked about this a little bit yesterday. The hate symbols are things like the Second Amendment, the Gadsden flag, Revolutionary War symbols, and
come and take.
Come on.
So every founding father basically is a hate symbol now.
So Ted Cruz was a little fed up, and here's what he did.
Also included on this is a text that I was particularly struck is the Gonzales battle flag. Come and take it. As indicative of being a violent extremist militia. Well, I will self-report right now that every day in the Senate I wear my boots that have the Gonzales battle flag on the back of them.
Yeah, those are expensive boots, by the way.
Yeah, yes, they are.
What are y'all doing?
You're not picking those up at Walmart.
No, you're not.
This makes no sense. Do you agree with this FBI guidance that the Betsy Ross flag and the Gadsden flag and the Gonzales battle flag are signs of militia violent extremism?
Well, Senator, I'm not familiar with the particular document you have behind you, and I'm not in the practice of trying to comment on documents that I haven't recognized. But I will tell you that when we put out intelligence products, including ones that reference symbols, which we do across a wide variety of contexts, we usually take great pains to put caveats and warnings in the document that make clear that a symbol alone is not considered evidence of violent extremism.
Why would you even include the Gadsden flag or the Gonzales flag, which is the come and take it thing? That has nothing to do with violent extremism.
And here it is, right here on our wall. Look at that violent extremism.
Yeah.
Represented here in our studio.
I mean, it's asinine what the FBI has been doing lately.
That's for sure. Well, and Ted got him again. I've sent that in. I hope we have it because he got Christopher Wray again about the special agent in charge from Detroit over the Whitmer kidnapping. The Governor Whitmer kidnapping, and the FBI was involved in all of that. And he slaps down Christopher Wray on this.
Recently, there was the case against individuals charged with kidnapping and murdering Governor Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan. That case ended up an absolute debacle where the 4 people who went to trial, 2 of them were acquitted, 2 received mistrials. None of them were convicted on even a single charge, and the basis of the defense was entrapment, that the FBI, that paid enforcements for the FBI, had suggested and had incited the conduct. Let me ask you, how many FBI agents were disciplined or reprimanded after that disastrous case and the misconduct that led to every defendant being acquitted or having a mistrial on every charge?
Senator, I can't comment on a personnel matter. I can tell you that case, as I understand it, is now pending a retrial, as I understand it.
Well, the special agent in charge of that case has now been sent to D.C., to the Washington, D.C. office, and now leads the investigation regarding January 6th. Is that correct?
That doesn't sound right to me.
That does not sound right. The name of the individual is Stephen D'Antuono. He was run out of the FBI Detroit field office. And by the way, I will point out that the lead investigator, Special Agent Track, are you aware that he was apparently fired for allegedly beating his wife after coming home from a swingers party, and he'd made multiple derogatory political posts about President Trump showing political bias? Are you aware of that?
I am aware of, I think, the incident you're describing, and action that was taken about it. To clarify on the first part of your question,
I remember now.
Mr. D'Antuono was the special agent in charge of the office, the Detroit field office. It is now the assistant director in charge of the Washington field office.
Yeah, you got a promotion.
I thought you were asking
right
about
after
the agent
also
who
said
was responsible for the
So the guy in charge got promoted and is now in charge of the January 6th investigation.
Yes.
The guy in charge of the whole Detroit field office is now in charge of the whole Washington field office.
Yes. So yes. So again,
yes.
the answer is yes. So again, you were correct in what you said. So yes, the answer is yes.
I just need to word it differently.
Senator Cruz.
So I was saying he's the guy in charge of everything.
Of the whole Detroit
area.
field office is now in charge of the whole Washington, D.C. office.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, so yes. Again, the answer is yes. He was promoted. Oh, that's incredible. That is stunning.
I know.
What is going on in the FBI?
Oh, God.
I mean, we just lost the stinking FBI.
Yeah.
Sure feels that way.
It really does. It really does. It's despicable. Because, I mean, I'm a fan of the FBI.
I know.
The CIA. I think we should have these departments, these intelligence agencies, and yet they're letting them go to hell. And it's really, really pathetic what is being allowed to happen in the United States of America with some of our law enforcement
in
agencies.
The whole United States of America,
whole United
or just
States,
a specific area,
but mostly in Washington, the whole Washington D.C. field office. There and in the other offices in Washington, D.C.
How many of these three-letter...
So the entire country is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes.
How many of these three-letter entities do we still need around? Can you think of good levels of government that we need to... that's doing a good job for us?
No idea.
That's where I'm at.
Not three letters.
That's where I'm at.
Maybe four.
The NCAA, they're doing a great job for us.
No, they're here, and the government's here.
And they're actually not doing a great job for us. And they're about to be booted out of their own organization.
They're imploding.
It's unbelievable what's going on with the NCAA. It's, the SEC and the Big Ten are going to take over, and they're going to leave the NCAA.
Yeah, they're going to say, take a hike. We're on our own.
Yep.
Okay, we'll do it. You know what?
Thanks. We got a fine system for ourselves over here.
Thanks.
We're going to do this little playoff thing.
You
guys
over
do
there.
whatever you want. We'll see you.
Yep.
All right?
You guys say what you want over there. That's fine.
Maybe 2 years off, maybe 3, but that's going to happen. Almost certainly. Also, in the Senate yesterday, we'll talk about this coming up. Kyrsten Sinema, we were wondering how she was going to respond to everything going on. Yeah, she responded in a way that we don't like. So, yeah.
No.
Yep.
Oh, darn.
She sucks.
Had so much hope.
Manchin sucks.
Did ya?
She sucks.
Did ya?
I don't think so.
You just can't count on him. You can't count on him.
Yeah, I saw a headline where it said, I don't know what the percentage was, but basically, when push comes to shove, Manchin always tends to, not always, but predominantly sides with however Schumer votes.
Well,
he's, you can't, he's not as independent-minded as maybe we're led to believe.
He says a couple things that we like, so he gets more stuff that he wants, and then he's with them.
And then he betrays the American people.
Yep.
Happens almost every time. 888-900-3393. Some tweets here. Benjamin Flensburg tweets, I don't care how much you dislike AJ, this is not a fair trial. I don't have any idea if it's a fair trial or not. I didn't watch it. I didn't follow it. I don't care, really, to tell you the truth about Alex Jones. I just don't appreciate his conspiracy theories. If you do, that's great. If you believe in the 9/11 conspiracy theory that George Bush took down the towers, go ahead. If you believe everything is a conspiracy theory, go ahead. Buy into it. That's fine by me. I just don't.
Has Alex Jones weighed in on the moon landing? Do we know?
I don't know.
I mean, because that's the granddaddy of them all, right? I wonder what his take is on that.
I don't know. I don't know that I've ever heard. Pat's Dead Machine tweets, Alex is going to have to sell a lot of iodine from the InfoWars store to cover these losses. Yeah. Well, and I think he is at $800,000 a day. Yellow Sticker Bandit. Okay, now I'm wondering if Mr. 360 died of natural causes or if Alex Jones put a hit out on him to destroy evidence.
Oh.
We need a full-blown investigation.
We do need an investigation.
Put Liz Cheney in charge of that.
Hashtag justice for Mr. 360.
There we go.
Oh, man. Okay, so we told you about Kyrsten Sinema. She has agreed now to move forward with the social spending and tax bill after the Democrats make changes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she's she's for it as long as they make changes.
She's for it, just like Joe Manchin. They both got, I guess, whatever they want, and now they're moving forward with it.
Looks like only 2 Sandy Hook parents, by the way, getting damages. He might have a lot more to deal with.
Yeah, he's got
this
$4.1 million to these 2, and then a third one coming.
Yes.
Right? And then I don't.
And again, like I said, I'm not sure.
I don't know that the other ones are suing.
Yeah, I don't know how many are involved in the next trial.
Rent an apartment across the street from the courthouse. Sounds like he's going to be there for a while.
Well, the next one isn't here. This was here in Texas. The next one I think is in Virginia. I think.
Really?
Yeah.
This one was where? Where was this one held?
In Austin.
It was in Austin?
Yeah.
How do you get that? How do you manage that? Because they live, there.
Well, they're suing a company based in Austin.
Yeah, his company, whatever his company is called, the InfoWars. That's not what it's called, though. He calls it something else.
Okay.
I forget the name of his stupid company.
Interesting. But back to Kyrsten Sinema. She says, we have agreed to remove the carried interest tax provision. The carried interest tax provision.
Okay.
Protect advanced manufacturing and boost our clean energy economy in the Senate's budget reconciliation legislation. So she wants more to the clean energy bill than the $460 million or whatever is in there now?
Whatever's in there now is not enough.
Gotta be kidding me. Subject to the parliamentarians' review, I'll move forward, she says. So
we still have that to hold on to? The parliamentary review?
I guess so.
So if the parliamentarian review says, no, this doesn't help with the recession, she's going to back off?
You would infer that, but who knows? I don't trust her. I don't trust Joe Manchin.
All right, well, the parliamentarian said that it doesn't help, but you know what? It's wrong.
I've already said I'm moving forward.
I've looked at this, and you know what? I disagree with that. So let's just go ahead and move on.
And by the way, there's a nice little tax increase for everybody. So that whole nobody under $400,000 will get 1 penny, not 1 penny in extra taxes. Shut up. It's a lie as always. It's another stinking lie from this administration. And I'm so tired of it. I don't know how you get away with that. As adamant as he was about the $400,000 number, over and over and over he said it. Over and over.
Yeah.
And I think we have some of those instances
I
where
believe that
Joe Biden talked about it.
Yeah.
Every time we hear him say it, even when at the beginning, it was, it's going to be not true.
Yeah,
you just know it's going to be not true.
But to be that bold about it, to be that clear over it, to say it that many times as strongly as he did, and then to still go back and it's not $400,000, but it's nobody under $10,000.
And earlier this week, you speculated that was where he used his "I give you my word" as a Biden line, and sure enough, That's where he
It
used
was.
it.
Oh, there you go.
I give you my word as a Biden.
Oh, gosh.
Never broken my word.
Oh, yeah.
He's never
Anyone making
broken
less
his
than
word.
$400,000
Get off my
not
screen.
One single penny in their
Nice
tax
mask.
raise.
President Biden breaking his promise not to raise taxes on the middle class.
Senate Democrats look to fast-track a bill that multiple now nonpartisan experts say would raise taxes on nearly all Americans.
Give you my word as a Biden, no one making less than $400,000
He said it multiple times.
a year will see a penny in their taxes raised.
The average tax rate for nearly every income bracket would increase.
I will not impose any tax increase on people making less than $400,000.
Taxes will rise by $16.7 billion in 2023 on Americans earning less than $200,000 a year.
No one earning less than $400,000 will pay a single penny more in federal tax.
Joe Biden has drawn the line at $400,000 a year. The committee does say it would raise taxes on people below that line.
Oh, that's it.
That's even from John King at CNN. That's amazing. So, another lie from Biden. And he said my word is a Biden thing multiple times.
Never broken
Like
my
that
word.
means anything
Never
to
broken.
anybody.
Never broken my word.
Never broken
Yeah,
my
that
word.
was like the template in the teleprompter. They just left that in there for all those speeches.
That's
I
unbelievable.
give you my word as a Biden.
We got it.
Yeah. Wow. So, but I mean, he almost did it. He went from 400,000 down to just a little bit lower. You know, just a bare minimum, like teeny tiny
200,000?
bit. Well, 10,000, but 10,000.
Yeah, but do you know anybody that makes at least $10,000 a year?
No,
I mean,
that's
like
way. That's
upper
a
crust
lot
right
of
there.
money, man. That is a lot
of money.
of stinking money.
I
If you make
know.
10,000 a year,
Yeah.
I don't even know those people. They live in mansions.
Rich
that
as
are
1%.
way above my house.
No doubt about that.
So,
no doubt about that.
that's crazy. That is 10,000 a year. I mean, if you text anybody less than that, they're not even working. Probably they don't have a full-time job, and you're going to tax them too.
If you're making $10,000 a year, that's not a full-time job.
No, usually
that's not a full-time job.
No, it's like it's minimum wage kind of stuff. 10,000 a year, and I mean, John King admitted to was it 200,000 or was
Yeah.
he saying 400,000?
He said 400.
He said, so that you are below the line on 400,000. They're below the line on 200,000. They're below the line on 120,000. They tried to keep all of these lines.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. They're below every single line.
Joe Biden's a liar either way.
They're lying.
Yeah. Unbelievable. All right. Apparently, they're not going to do the Batgirl movie, which I was so counting on.
Were you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was looking forward to that.
You'd already made plans and bought your tickets through Fandango?
Almost. Not quite.
Okay,
but
I got a little
almost.
ahead of myself there. Sorry.
Yeah, they shelved it, baby. They said we're not doing anything with it. Have a nice day. Sure, we spent we budgeted $80 million. We spent $90 million because we added an extra 10 because of COVID protocols.
Wow.
And we're just going to put it on the shelf. No
Oh
problem.
my
Hey, look, you
gosh.
guys, you're beautiful. You did a great job. We're happy. We're proud of the movie.
Are they proud?
But
Are they? They're so proud they're not going to show it in
We're just not going to
theaters.
show it.
They're going to keep
We're
it all
just
to
gonna show
themselves,
it.
man. That's how good it is.
We're just not going to show
So,
it.
hold on. Yeah, but Jeffy, they spent $100 million.
$90 million.
Okay,
90
yeah, and then
million.
the 10 with the COVID. And they're not going to even try to make a penny back?
Nope, and that's really strange. I was thinking that maybe it was supposed to be just released to streaming originally.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, maybe there's
And they're not even going to do that?
right. There's an
Wow.
argument to be made that they'd want to do it in theaters, so they shelf it, and then a year from now they say, okay, well we are going to release it, and then they do it in theaters. But they in one of the quotes that they talk about is the focus is going to be how we make each of these films as good as possible. DC is something we can make better, and we're focused on now. We have some great films coming up, and they name Black Adam and Shazam and Flash, and we're working on all of those. We've seen them, and we think they're terrific, and that we can make them even better, which leads you to believe that we've seen all the Batgirl stuff, and it is not
So nothing,
terrific.
nothing to the theory that it was just too woke for audiences.
Then nobody's said that. So I don't know. It's all part of the the HBO Discovery merger, and they're getting ready to put together HBO Max and Discovery Plus together as one app. And then they're building another app that's supposed to have free merchandise in it as well. And also, during the announcement from Batgirl, we also found out that they're dropping another movie. Scoob Holiday got the axe.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'm sorry, Scoob Holiday Haunt.
Is that Scooby-Doo?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it's a follow up to the Scooby-Doo movie that they released in 2020.
I bet that was really quality stuff.
Well, the thing is, they spent like 60 or 70 million on Scoob, the first one, and they only made like 23 million.
How did they get a sequel to that?
Right?
Okayed. How?
I don't know, but
diehard fans like you that were just
no doubt
waiting
but,
for it.
And people are pissed. Everybody's talking about Batgirl. That's a Scoob Holiday Haunt is the one that really ticked me off.
Yeah, that's the painful one. It looks like in Batgirl, Michael Keaton was going to play Batman again.
And they already filmed it. It's already filmed.
That's amazing.
Yeah. They made a big deal about Michael coming
Keaton.
back, and there's some other big stars in it as well.
At 60 years old, they brought Michael Keaton back as Batman.
Yeah, and
that's incredible.
What's her face that played Batgirl made sure that they gave her red hair, and I mean it was part of the the DC comic people. That was a big deal, and it's got to be just that the movie is terrible.
It must be a real abomination. If they're not even going to try to get to
just writing it off. Have a nice day.
To
put it
earn
on the
back
shelf.
some of the money it cost them.
Wow.
You're just going to take a $90 million loss?
Yep.
And that's
Have a
it?
nice day.
That's really something. It's bad if they're willing
to
do that.
It's got to be embarrassing, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
There was a quote that stood out that you were reading from there, Jeffy. It's that DC can get better.
At the end. At the end of that quote. Yeah.
It has to. It can't get any worse.
But they were talking about the other movies that they have ready to go, and you're right. They were talking about we're overlooking it, and they're looking at how they're projecting this 10-year plan. They're trying to, they're going up against Marvel, so that's what they want to do. What Marvel did, and so their argument to that is that these movies that we already have are good, right? And we can get better, and we're not letting you see Batgirl. And we're not letting you see Scoob Holiday Haunt. Okay?
Somebody should at least leak the scenes with Michael Keaton on YouTube or something. I'd like to see those.
I would too.
Well, and she posted some stuff of when they were filming Batgirl as well. She's posted some of that stuff on her Instagram, but nothing. I mean, I don't know if it's. I just feel like a year from now or a couple of years from now, we will get the movie. It's
on streaming or somewhere. Probably.
I mean, because
you would think. Or maybe they'll do some reshoots and try to fix it.
Right, and then give it to the theaters and not streaming. They all love the idea of having the theaters back open now, and they think they're losing all this money because of streaming.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's their argument. So maybe they do. I don't know.
Meanwhile, a movie that is going to be shown in theaters, Brad Pitt's Bullet Train opens today. So.
You excited?
Yeah.
I don't know that I am.
I mean, it looks good. It's rated R, though, so I won't be seeing it, but it looks good. I thought it looked okay in the previews. Easter Sunday also starts today. That's about, I guess, family get-togethers on the holiday and how it could go wrong. It could go radically wrong. So fun.
Is that
it sounds so fun.
Did that have an original release date of several months ago? I mean,
that's what I was wondering. Easter Sunday. You're a little bit late.
Right?
Several months. DC League of Super Pets made it to the theaters, but not Batgirl.
And not Scoob Holiday Haunt.
Not Scoob Holiday Haunt.
That's the one that really hurts right now.
Nope. Isn't. Of course, I think that opened last week.
Yeah, it did. Or maybe
Thor, Love and Thunder still there. And, of course, Sita Ramam, the Telugu a movie with English subtitles.
That sounds right up your alley, Pat.
That's
And the only reason I'll tell you,
I'll
tell you the reason I haven't seen that is because of the subtitles.
Really?
It's distracting.
Yeah,
to me.
Yeah,
I just want to enjoy the movie as is.
If you're going to do it in Telugu, just do it in Telugu.
Thank you.
Is it that?
Don't show me the subtitles.
We got it.
Or do you struggle with the reading? Is that what it is? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot with that.
Just give it to me in Telugu, okay? That's all I'm asking.
Have you seen Where the Crawdads Sing yet?
No, I want to, too. I do. I want to.
I know you do.
I want to see it desperately.
I've heard it's a great book.
I know.
I've heard it's
this is good.
From multiple people.
You know, this is Reese Witherspoon's Oscar. She wants this bad for her
she
company,
does.
man.
Yeah. And she thought this was her ticket to an Oscar, too.
Absolutely.
And maybe it will be. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet, but this is one of those where they're really trying to get the Oscar.
Absolutely, man.
I mean, the path is clear now that they shelved Scoob Holiday Haunt as far as awards go.
Maybe that's what HBO Max and Warner Brothers and Discovery is doing. They're just plowing the field for crawdads.
Mark Hamill was going to be in Scoob Holiday Haunt.
Yeah, they had a bunch of big names. They had already filmed they didn't report on how much they had already spent on Scoob Holiday Haunt yet.
Hundreds of millions, I bet.
They had spent money because they had released some footage of these guys recording their segments already on their on the social media. So it's like,
but it was animated, right?
Yes.
And so Mark Hamill always does animated stuff.
Yeah, they had the big voices, but they had a lot of big names for the voices.
They spent $40 million on it.
Okay, there you go.
Jeez.
So so there you go. So now you got $130 million worth
Written
of
off.
film.
Bye-bye.
Just throwing it to the shelf.
Yep.
Throw it away. Put it in the trash can.
Incredible.
Wow.
Incredible. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Good morning, American. It's Friday.
Great to have you with us. 888-900-3393. Also, Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Mrs. Boots tweets. His word is a Biden. Should have been the tip-off. It was a lie. And from Squatching Duck, I give you my word as an admitted plagiarist and liar.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as good as...
It doesn't. It
doesn't have a ring.
No. Carol Remarks tweets, they realized afterwards that they wanted a man to play Batgirl. The real reason they shelved it. If only that were true. It doesn't seem to work that way.
No.
It only goes one way, and that's for women to replace men.
Yes.
And trans to replace women. But never men replacing women. That's wrong, right?
Correct.
I mean, a biological man cannot replace a woman character. But
how dare you?
Biological women can replace biological men characters.
Absolutely.
And have.
Absolutely.
And continue to do it in almost all movies.
You got it.
So
you know how it works.
So we got that going for us. Yeah. It's perfect. There's an activist group telling archaeologists not to assume the gender of ancient skeletons.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
You can tell.
No, you can't tell how they identified.
You
cannot tell.
Well, you can't tell how they identified.
Right.
But
you
can tell
their real gender.
And that's actually the argument that this stupid group makes.
Of course it is. Self-declared anarchist archaeologists are warning archaeologists.
Archaeologists.
Yeah. Don't assume the gender or race of ancient skeletons because they see the categorization of sexes as discriminatory to the dead and as enhancing white supremacy. Boom! Booyah!
How does that enhance white supremacy?
I don't.
That's a likely understanding of the times from a white supremacist such as yourself, obviously. Okay.
So-called trendy academics have been labeling ancient human remains as non-binary or gender-neutral because they say DNA only determines biological sex, but not gender.
See?
Okay.
You nailed it, Jeffy.
Okay.
Nice job.
The controversy has been raised by the Black Trowel Collective of multi-ethnic and anarchist archaeologists.
I love them.
Yeah.
Based on the notion that attributing sex and race to skeletons is fraught with issues. And, of course, that's true.
Excuse me, it's ma'am.
Mhm.
It is ma'am.
Right. And they can't say that, right?
Right. Yeah,
Can't say
that's
that.
right. There's just a pile of bones.
All they can say is, ah. Remember that? The mummies.
Yep.
That's all they could do.
I mean, this is a time in history where they were a lot more concerned about, I don't know, surviving and not being killed than the identifying as some other gender.
Critics of the latest movement told the Daily Mail that such ridiculous demands would lead to a rewriting of history and imposing current ideology where it doesn't belong. That's exactly what they want.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what these buffoons want.
Yeah, the anarchists.
Yeah, the anarchist archaeologists.
Good
Nevertheless, so-called trendy academics are increasingly labeling skeletons as non-binary or gender neutral, even when their anatomical features are clearly male or female.
Interesting.
Yeah, isn't it though?
Interesting. Don't throw that away. I may have to delve into that a little bit deeper on chewing the fat today.
All right.
Some of those groups are sound like they are a fun group to read about.
Yeah, don't they sound fun?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they sound fun. Fun. Here's a fun fifth grade teacher who was discussing pronouns with her class because that's really important. And
okay, TikTok, I really need your help here.
This happened.
I'm a teacher. I teach fifth and sixth grade, and this morning, I don't know, somehow the concept of pronouns came up. And one of my students said, well, Miss Odell, did you even ask me my pronouns? And I was like, whoa. I hadn't actually asked him his pronouns, and I had called him a hen, and I said,
called him a hen?
I'm
You
so
just
sorry.
did
I
it
haven't
again.
actually called you.
So sorry.
I mean, asked you what your pronouns are, and what are they? And he said, I'm sorry, Banana said, banana and rock.
I'm
And I
sorry,
was like,
Banana
dude,
said.
no, like, don't mess around with. I was actually really upset because I thought he was making fun of it, and in fact, I'm still pretty sure he was making fun of it. And they all agreed, no, like you can choose anything, banana, rock. If you want banana and rock to be a pronoun, banana and rock's your pronoun.
Except those aren't pronouns.
TikTok, tell me.
Okay.
Boy, she is
I don't even
mental.
know. Is that even real though? I mean, it's
Yeah, I
funny.
think it's real from
It's
her.
funny.
For her, yeah.
I think it's definitely real from her. She doesn't know if the kid is being a smartass or is he really Banana Rock. And so she actually used banana in there.
Yes, she
College
did.
referred to him as banana.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I think the kid's playing her.
The kid's screwing with her.
But she is mental to even entertain this to begin with.
So ridiculous. It shows you how stupid, how asinine this whole thing is. Stop it. Oh, man. You get he, her, or she, him. That's it. Those are the pronouns.
Excuse me, it's
Choose
banana.
them. No, I'm sorry. No bananas. A banana's a noun. I'm not going to call you a noun.
I mean, that's
okay?
I think that's a point in this whole thing that's being overlooked.
A banana's a noun. A rock is a noun. I'm not calling you a banana or a rock.
A rock.
Okay.
A river. Oh, we might not have it.
tree.
Oh no, we lost that too, didn't we?
I don't know.
Oh no.
Let's see.
These ones come up. Oh, sad. Oh well.
It's gone.
We're going to experience this kind of heartache so
Over and
many
over and over and over.
times.
But we have the privilege walk to
oh, okay, good.
to salve the wound because we ran across an article about what's referred to as a privilege walk. In the summer of 2021, a social justice training exercise called the Privilege Walk made headlines when outraged Republican lawmakers Tom Cotton and Dan Crenshaw denounced it on the U.S. Capitol floor as racist. The so-called Privilege Walk, or Power Shuffle, is a workshop activity much beloved by the diversity training industry, in which a group of participants stand together on a line, then each take one step forward or backwards in response to a facilitator reading a series of statements, such as, if you're a white male, take one step forward.
Okay.
If you were ever made uncomfortable by a joke about your ethnicity, gender, appearance, or sexual orientation, take one step back.
Oh no.
No white person's ever been made uncomfortable. You know that. Not for any
Ever?
reason. Never. It's never happened. At the end, participants find themselves arrayed along a continuum of privilege. And here it is being played out.
Some people are born into families where they have to walk miles just to get water. All I have to do is turn on a faucet. That's privilege.
Well, you're privileged.
That's
You're
America.
privileged.
BuzzFeed presents What is Privilege?
See, about 5 of the 7 billion of us are privileged in that way.
Yeah. And you can go to those countries and live like that if you'd like.
So you got to take a step forward if you're privileged, a step back.
I think privilege is when some people have some things and other people don't have things.
I feel privilege is something that you don't even really have control over.
I think it'd be silly for me to say I don't have a fair amount of privilege, considering like the country I live in and the job I get to do and the college I was allowed to go to.
I suppose being a white male will help me end up somewhere towards the front, but I'll take a few steps back from being gay.
I don't think I'll make it to the front. I think I'll maybe be in the middle. That's just the gut feeling I have.
I don't know how long you're going to make it in here.
If your parents work nights and weekends to support your family, take one step back. If you can show affection for your romantic partner in public without fear of ridicule or violence, take one step back.
Virtually everybody
If you were
now.
embarrassed about your clothes or
Stop
house
it.
while growing up, take one step back.
Embarrassed
if
about
you have
my
ever
clothes?
been
Yeah, I was.
diagnosed
Everyone
as having
was.
a physical or
Okay.
mental illness or disability, take one step back.
No white person's
If
ever
you've ever
had that.
been bullied or made fun of based on something you can't
No white person's
change,
ever been
take
bullied.
one step back.
I mean,
if you
I
get
gotta
time
take 10
off for your
steps
religious
back.
holidays, take one step forward.
Oh,
If you
okay.
came from a supportive family environment, if you can see a doctor whenever you feel the need, if you are able to move through the world without fear of if you took out sexual loans assault, for your education, if there were more than 50
Wow.
books in your house growing up.
Final position.
Oh, look at there.
There it is.
There it is.
Okay, so the
these
whiteys
are your
are up
final
front.
decisions.
Whiteys up front.
Yep.
And the minorities in the back. Look at her, just way back there. How was it?
Oh, no.
Oh, this
I
enlightening.
think it felt kind of strange for everyone.
It's a hard thing to discuss or even reflect on.
let go of my hand.
It's a hard thing.
I
It
think
is.
when you can
Awkward.
represent it so visually like this and so
Yeah, wow.
immediately,
Wow,
it
that's
definitely
true.
takes on a new form.
It
I think
definitely.
We're like all joking around. in
Yeah,
the
go get a
beginning,
glass of
pretty
water from
lighthearted,
your
And as soon as the
spigot.
questions started coming in, the mood shifted immediately.
Did it?
And it was just silent.
Just looking back and seeing like a bunch of people behind you is not a good feeling.
It's like weird how you want to like hold
that's a
on to
bad
explaining a certain privilege.
I'm gonna say that's
like,
a bad
but that's
feeling.
not actually
That's
me
what I'm
because like
gonna say.
I had to work really hard for that.
I just
So
looked
it's
around and
weird
I
to,
saw
like,
people
take a step
behind me and I
forward
thought,
when
oh,
you feel
that's a
like you're taking
bad
step
feeling.
forward with someone else,
Oh,
but
no.
where a lot of the baggage
No, what are you
of,
guys doing back there?
it was like more emotional than I thought it would be.
It reminded me of
What?
when
What? Tell me.
they talk about slavery in
Uh-huh.
high school.
Right,
And you feel
right,
like
right.
angry for a few days.
Sure, for a
but
few
then
days.
you just realize like this is how it is.
That's how it is.
Yeah.
And you realize slavery is how it is.
Kind of frustrating
So-
almost to look back and see how
Yeah.
much further some people were behind me, and
Yeah,
realizing
a
that
long way.
you know
So-
a lot of that stuff. No amount of hard work,
no amount,
or even legislation
Nope.
can make up that gap.
It
It's
doesn't
interesting being
matter.
Asian American because you're not really sure where you fall on the spectrum.
Well, you're not?
I know that for me, one of the
Pause it for a
reasons I
second.
don't-
Let's look at the statistics at Harvard and find out where the Asians are. So picked on and so discriminated against that they're like 95% of Harvard graduates. God, I can't take it. Can we
agonizing.
stop? You don't know where you fit in? Okay. All right.
You know, you thinking like that?
I mean, we homeschooled.
Mr. Whitey?
We homeschooled for 23 years. But our first two kids, we allowed to go to college or high school, to go to high school because they wanted extracurricular activities and whatever. We learned our lesson after they went to high school and stopped that practice. But so when I attended the graduation of my oldest daughter, and the top 10 at her high school graduation class were all Asians. Every one of them Asians.
I hope, though.
The top 10.
I hope on the way home you continued to say, what a loser
Man,
you are. What are you
dang.
doing?
No, what I talked about was how the Asians had been held back so badly.
Oh, okay.
That's,
All
of
right.
course, what I talked
Oh,
about.
okay.
There was the privilege given to the whiteys in the class, you know, who surpassed the Asians, even though the Asians had done better work than they did.
And that's when you knew something was
And
wrong
that's
with
when
the
I
system.
knew. Yeah, except for the fact that all the Asians were at the
true.
top. So
What are you
I didn't
gonna
have much
do?
to bitch about.
Did you
Dang
guys
it!
do a privilege walk there after the ceremony?
Yeah, and my children, my whitey children, were all
your whitey
way in the back.
Yeah,
way in the back.
Wow, that stinks, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to hear that. It
Yeah.
must have been
Sad.
traumatizing.
I mean, we're supposed to feel bad about being an American.
Yeah, and a white person.
And a white person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Do you feel bad?
I do now.
No, okay.
I do now.
All right. You should. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I do now. I would have been standing way back there.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Not
even
up front.
I wouldn't have even made the line.
Not
the
up
first
front.
line.
I mean, even though I would have been in front of the other minorities because I'm white.
Right.
I mean, that just automatically.
You got that
puts
going for you.
That's the
Right.
only thing, though.
Yeah,
The
but
rest
you've
of it-
never been bullied.
Nope.
Or made fun
Made
of.
fun of.
Or made to feel
Never.
uncomfortable.
Right.
That's
Never.
the good thing because
Right.
you're white.
Never.
Right.
When I was
So,
a kid,
that's good.
I was never ashamed of the
Never ashamed.
clothes I had to wear.
No.
From
you
the
didn't.
husky section. No, I was never.
Never experienced it. Okay. Good.
Nobody's ever called you overweight.
Right.
Right? Fat.
No.
Nobody's ever said you
No.
could get stuck between the moon and New York City. Nobody's ever done that to you. So you got privilege up the wazoo.
That's
much
correct. You're still getting water out of the faucet, aren't you? Okay. Shut up.
I want to know what percentage of human beings are getting water out of the faucet rather than walking down to the river to get it. Come on. It's a huge percentage of this of the world
I think so too. Yeah, I
population.
mean, there's
That's
still
a humongous percentage.
There's still a huge number of people that aren't able to have
Is there a
running water.
huge percentage?
Yeah, I think so.
I bet
there's
it's
a huge
under
number of people.
10%. It's under 10%. Maybe it's 14% because that's about the poverty rate. And that's abject poverty. If you have to walk down to the river to get your water, then yeah, that's...
You shouldn't be happy about that. I mean, you
No.
have access to water. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of studies. 70 to 80%. 70 to 80% have access
running
to
water.
fresh
Yeah.
water or clean water. Yeah, it doesn't say
fresh or
So
clean.
that's, I mean, you're probably right with 14 or 15 because that's still, if there's 80% that have access to.
Okay, 81 have it inside their home. 81% of the world's population has access to safe drinking water in their home.
In their home.
That leaves...
So you got running water, you have plumbing.
Or you have, you could have,
You know.
you could have a well, a pump inside the house.
That's unlikely.
That was
but
living
you
large.
could, I
So
suppose.
1.6 billion people worldwide do not have clean water inside their house.
Out of 7.5 billion, that's that's a small percentage.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'd like for them to have clean water and indoor plumbing and all of those
Sure.
things. Sometimes they don't even want that. Sometimes they choose a life where I don't have the comforts of home. They like living
Absolutely.
in the wild. Some do. I'm not one of those. I wouldn't survive in the wild. So
No.
I
not
wouldn't
a
enjoy
chance.
it.
No, not a chance.
All right. Trying to sell your home is a challenge. Do you have running water? Do you have access to electricity?
That'll cost you extra.
Yeah, it will. It will. Maybe you need to paint your house. Maybe you need to make some repairs around the home. That's where a really good realtor comes in. Somebody who can give you the great advice of whether you're going to get your money out of that or not. But that's the kind of service you're looking for in a real estate agent, and that's the kind of realtors you're going to get at Real Estate Agents I Trust. It's Glenn's company. These have been carefully vetted by his team, and these agents will see your selling process through from the day you interview them until the moment you sign on the dotted line. Same goes for if you're buying a home. When you choose your agent through Real Estate Agents I Trust, you partnered yourself with a competitive winning machine. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. RealestateAgentsITrust.com. All right, got some tweets here. Regarding the privilege walk, Muffer Squish tweets. Interesting how many of those questions were based on fear. The feeling questions aren't actual qualifiers of privilege, just a test to see how well the brainwashing is going.
That sure seems
That's
right.
true. That's a really good point. Also from Anthony Esch, or Osh. If you could burn down cities with no consequences, take one step forward.
Awesome.
If you're responsible for something that ended 160 years ago, take one step back.
Perfect.
Oh, man. Generation Y tweets, it seems like they all should have taken a step back when they said mental illness. Yeah, because they all have it. From Christopher, I don't have a Tesla. I'm not privileged. Please donate to my horrific white saga.
And take a step back.
Caffeinated Texan, notice there aren't any people older than 30 playing this stupid privilege game. That's more telling than anything in the video. Yeah. From Jeffy, he does as he pleases. We used to call privilege blessings. We used to count them and be grateful and use them to turn around and help others. Maybe we can try that. No.
Come
on now. That's just silliness. That's just silly. Okay. 888-900-3393. Monkeypox, by the way, has been declared an emergency in the United States.
Yeah.
So that we got that going for us.
They're concerned, though, because we don't have enough vaccine. Enough vaccine.
And 6,600 infections. 6,600 monkeypox infections in the U.S.
They're claiming now that it's possible to have over 1 million cases.
What? From 6,600 to 1 million?
And they only have like 500,000 vaccines.
So yeah, they've ordered
somewhere in there. Those are just round numbers on
the U.S.
what they're claiming.
Federal government has ordered 6.3 million doses of the monkeypox vaccine that will.
Yeah, but it's not even going to be.
It's not going to be until early next year. And but don't forget, if you do get it, then you have a 0.00375% chance of dying from it.
Yeah, I mean you're not going to die, but you are going to get the pox, and you're going to be that leads to scarring, a lot of scarring happening, and they're telling you that if you can,
what's that?
Stay out of the bathhouse.
Stay out of the bathhouse.
I can't.
Stay out of the bathhouse.
I love the bathhouse.
What an unreasonable request.
It's unreasonable. I can't do it.
I'm not changing my lifestyle
maybe
for you.
Stop going to the pride events and having sex with multiple partners.
Hello.
So
they just had that San Francisco Kink Fest
or
whatever.
There's another big one coming up.
Yeah.
There's another big one coming up.
Another
big one coming up. I think in New Orleans. I can't remember where it's at.
My gosh.
But there's another big Pride Festival thing coming up that the pox people are a little hesitant, a little nervous.
So hold on.
They should be.
Well, Pat.
Yes.
They might have to actually think about not having sex with multiple partners at this event.
I'd hate to see.
Now there's
that.
an Austin event coming up, right?
That happen.
There's an Austin event.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking
of. And I think
of.
they're preparing for the fallout from that from a health perspective. I have seen conflicting reports. I've seen 70 people have died in Africa and several others worldwide. This story here.
That's over all the time, right? Since there's been monkeypox.
Okay, is that right?
I think so, yeah.
Well, maybe that clears up the confusion because here's a story from our local ABC affiliate today. No, there haven't been any monkeypox deaths reported yet in the U.S. There haven't been any monkeypox deaths in the U.S. and fewer than 10 deaths reported worldwide amid the current outbreak.
Yeah, the current outbreak.
And I love this paragraph. Though monkeypox is not a disease that solely infects homosexual males, health officials have raised concerns that festival or pride parades where gay men gather are likely to be in close personal contact with each other could become super spreader events. Yeah. Especially since 95%. They're not all.
Right.
It's not solely.
Okay.
It's only 95%.
Okay, so you know what this tells me? 95% of the time, monkeypox is homophobic and hates gays, and just targets them indiscriminately.
So
what a rude
What
virus.
a terrible disease.
You've got the goo. Keep to yourself.
Yeah, right.
That's all.
Just don't have sex with somebody.
That's
If you
all.
got the open weeping sores, maybe refrain.
Just
for the weekend.
I don't want your pox goo
I know,
on me.
right?
Okay?
Right?
Please. That's all. That's all I ask.
don't go to the bathhouse this weekend if you're infected.
Well, you can go to the bathhouse. Just don't.
No.
No. I can't. I can just stop by.
No, you're not going to. No. Stay home from the bathhouse this weekend.
If you need to skip the bathhouse, take one step back. Okay?
Oh, man. Economy's fixed. 528,000 jobs added in July. It's a 3.5% unemployment rate.
We're good.
Fixed. We're there. We're good. Everything's fine.
Gas prices are down.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, down a lot.
Gas prices are
a lot. And it's all thanks to Joe Biden.
Oh,
Thank you.
Not Vladimir Putin?
No.
Because he's the one that raised them, right?
Yeah, but it was Biden who lowered them.
Man, my hero.
Yeah.
I feel like diesel prices have not dropped, though. So that kind of means that the prices of goods will remain high.
Still be high.
Huh.
Yeah.
Like how that works.
$4.11 is a good price nationwide for the
on average. Oh, I mean, I'm paying what, $3.30 something.
I paid $4 today for the Supreme.
Yeah.
Which, so
I paid $3.30 something yesterday. $3.34 or something.
I got
like
out
that,
of there for the $83.
Quit your whining.
I know, right?
Shut up.
At its height, it was 120. So I'm feeling like, wow, I am really rolling in the savings.
Didn't you start this segment by saying the economy's fixed?
Fixed.
So there you go.
More evidence.
More evidence right there. Right there.
There.
So I don't want to hear any belly aching about it, okay? I mean,
That doesn't sound like a recession to me.
No, right?
Thank
you. And with the good jobs report, that's what they'll be saying, too. There's no recession. So this happened outside the White House last night. A lightning strike.
Yeah.
4 people were injured.
Yeah.
Really?
And I think seriously, too.
Yeah, it was. So
Look at that.
God.
Ooh, dang.
Whoa. Let's watch that. Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. So then
Happened to be people standing around there.
What are they standing around for?
I don't know. And a storm there. And then there was like a news crew that was nearby and their camera was rolling. This is what it looked like right there. A little something like this.
And it went a little something.
Oh, yeah, no.
Like
this.
And then they're like, all right, we're done with our live shot. Let's
wrap it up.
Yeah, that's where the camera guy goes.
All right, we're out of here.
See ya. That was close. Yep.
Wow.
Right there at the old White House.
There you go. So
close to it.
So close.
Very, very close to the White House.
Thank
it wouldn't
goodness the White House itself wasn't hit.
Thank you.
Thank goodness.
Right?
Right. That's right.
You know, we wouldn't want that to happen.
No, you wouldn't.
No,
you would not.
Why would you even have to say that out loud?
Shoot through the window.
Well, obviously, you don't want that to happen.
Even say it like that.
It's a shame if somebody were taking a shower and a lightning bolt would come through the pipe like that.
Yeah, it would. That would be bad.
Oof.
Joe was eating pudding, though, in a room alone. So.
When that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
he did issue a statement after Russia sentenced Brittney Griner to 9 years.
9 years and fined
in
her.
prison. And how much was the fine?
Like I don't know, 100,000 rubles or something. It's like nothing.
What, 84 cents or something? Yeah. So she got the prison sentence. That's one more reminder of what the world already knew. Russia is wrongfully detaining Brittney Griner.
Oh, she admitted to everything and apologized and begged for mercy and asked
she's not going to get any
how
from
much
them.
she loved Russia and how much she loved all the people there and why she kept coming back. And they said, okay, well, they were asking for 9.5 years. We'll give you 9.
How
Goodbye.
is she wrongfully detained? I mean, that's the Russian law, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and look, she
wasn't kidnapped.
They made the case that, we originally made the case that, it was planted and all that, but that's not what she said. And she said her attorneys were saying she was packing in haste. And she didn't even smoke it while she was there, Pat. So, I mean, she had it with her and gosh darn it.
How many times that happened to you at an airport?
A lot. Believe me, I understand.
Who among us?
But, I mean, she, I don't know if she's going to end up serving the whole 9 years. I don't know if this administration is going to get her out of there, but if
they demanded her immediate release.
I'm sure that then she's home.
They demanded.
Then she's home already, I'm guessing.
He said, "It's unacceptable, and I call on Russia to release her immediately so she can be with her wife, loved ones, friends, and teammates. My administration will continue to work tirelessly and pursue every possible avenue to bring Brittney and Paul Whelan home safely as soon as possible." That's what he said.
All right.
So you can take that to the bank.
Now, I propose a trade. Y'all send Brittney Griner home from Russia, and we'll stop funding Ukraine in your little war there, Russia. How about that? Huh?
I think that'd probably be acceptable
You like
to
that?
him.
I do like...
I'm okay with that, actually.
Right. I like what Dinesh D'Souza said on Twitter yesterday. It seems like the Russians are doing to Griner what the Biden administration is doing to nonviolent January 6th protesters. Hard for us to feign indignation when the same thing is going on here.
Jeez, that's a good point.
True.
Very good point.
Dang. And the man who would be great in the White House, Ron DeSantis, held a press conference yesterday. Suspended a state attorney who he says was putting himself above the law in Florida, particularly when it comes to prosecuting abortions. And here's what he had to say.
He was awesome. He was in Tampa, Hillsborough County, and that's the stomping grounds.
We are not going to allow this pathogen that's been around the country of ignoring the law. We are not going to let that get a foothold here in the state of Florida. We are going to make sure that our laws are enforced and that no individual prosecutor puts himself above the law. And I can tell you the states and the localities that have allowed this to happen, they are ruining the day. You want to know why some people are moving to Florida? Because their communities are no longer safe thanks to prosecutors that think they know better than the people's representatives, and they get to pick and choose which laws that they are enforcing. So this was something that had a lot of input around the state. This is something that I think is a very, very important issue across our country, that this movement would be allowed to take hold, where you basically elevate your own personal conception of, quote, social justice over what the law requires of you. And I would note, those who say this represents social justice, look at San Francisco. They had to recall this prosecutor who was put in, funded by people like George Soros, saying he's not going to prosecute. They did the recall election. He was recalled, even in a very liberal jurisdiction. But the places that voted to keep him were the affluent communities who are not bearing the brunt of the policies. The places that voted to recall him were the working class communities, because they bear the burden of ignorance and refusal to enforce the law. And so what this is all about is really, when you uphold the rule of law, you are protecting the most vulnerable in our society. That's why we have a rule of law.
Right.
I want this man to run our country.
I do too. That guy stood behind him. That's Sheriff Grady Judd from Polk County, Florida. He is probably, if not the one of the best sheriffs in the country. That guy is awesome.
Yeah.
I love Grady Judd.
You've played some press conferences.
I
for us.
love Grady Judd, man. My favorite one was where they had shot an escaped prisoner, and it was like, I don't know, 80 or 90 shots that killed this guy. And when they asked him why his deputies shot him 80 or 90 times, he said, "That's all the bullets I had."
Love it. Love it. I love it.
I felt that coming on.
Yeah. Florida's the new beacon for freedom in this country.
It is.
They've got the mantle.
Yeah. They've kind of taken it from Texas, which is irritating. It's irritating. Blaze socks. Patriotic socks are back.
All right.
We got a limited number at the end of last year of the Let's Go Brandon socks. You wanted more, and so we're giving you more. There's 2 sock packages and stylish drink covers to keep your beverages cool and patriotic. If you're a Blaze TV subscriber, use the promo code BLAZESUB. You'll get 20% off your purchase. That code is only available to Blaze TV subscribers. You must use the email address associated with your Blaze TV subscription to snag this discount. Now, if you're not a subscriber, that's not a problem. You can subscribe right now to Blaze TV and use the promo code BLAZESUB to save on both your Blaze TV subscription and get 20% off these limited edition socks. So go to blazesocks.com, check out the socks, get a pair for a deserving dad, a grad, or that person who needs a new pair of socks, and a laugh. And maybe that person is even you.
You're listening to Pat Gray Unleashed.
Welcome. We mentioned yesterday briefly, 1/3 of Russians believe the sun revolves around the earth, not the other way around. 1/3. Now you'll say, well, they're stupid Americans too. We run into them all the time. Well, that's true, but it's not. Come on. It's not 1/3.
Oh, I want to look that up.
There are not 100 million Americans who believe the...
If there is, we need to shut the country down.
Yes. Yes, you do. Because that's unacceptable. But according to a survey on scientific misconceptions published by VCIOM, Wikiocom,
Sure.
Wikiocom,
Okay.
Wikiom, I don't know. There's really not a word there, so I shouldn't be trying to make one out of it. The All-Russian Center for the Study of Public Opinion. The number of Russians that did not believe the Earth revolves around the sun was 35%. Wow. It's grown from 28% in 2007.
So they've gotten smarter.
Yeah. More people have realized that the sun revolves around the Earth. So that's exciting news for the Russians.
Mm-hmm. And you said...
no wonder they love Vladimir Putin. They don't know any better.
You said... Okay, so I correct me if I'm wrong. You said if 100 million Americans believe that the sun revolves around the Earth...
Yeah.
You said...
shut down the country.
Shut down the country,
okay.
yes.
So
100 million Americans? Come on now. No way.
No, it's nowhere near 100 million Americans. It's 1 in 4 Americans, so 330 million divided by 4. That gives you 82.5 million Americans. Not
so we
nearly
don't need to
100.
Come on!
We don't need to shut the country down.
No, we're this close, though.
We narrowly averted it. Wow.
Oh, no, wait.
82 million?
Yeah, 82.5 million. If you divide,
Yeah.
320
320 divided by 4.
Hold on. Yes. But I'm just sad for a second here. Do you have the shutdown sound in the...
I know. I was thinking about the same thing.
Oh, we're doing it again. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you,
Zach
Corby
does.
Jr.
Thank you.
in there.
Still, though.
Still.
Not the same.
Yeah, so 1 in 4 Americans, according to this story, thinks that the sun revolves around...
That can't be.
Earth.
Come on.
So we're just
no way.
a little bit better than Russia in that respect.
Oh, my gosh. That can't be. That can't be right.
I watched
That's
right.
way too many
You know
people.
what? It might be 1 in 3 now because this story from NPR is from 2014.
Oh, geez.
Oh.
8 years ago.
Let's just go with that one.
We'll go with that one. Should I not look for an updated one?
No, because it's not. I don't want it to be 100 million.
No, I don't either.
I mean, I see a lot of videos.
I don't want it to be 80 million.
Of
I want it to be
people
about 80 people.
Not knowing the answers to questions they should know the answer to.
I know. Come on. You don't know the sun is stationary. And we revolve around it?
You
don't know that?
We're in trouble.
Really? Well, the sun's not stationary because it moves through the solar system, so it moves through the universe and the galaxy, just like everything else is moving. Okay. But the sun does not revolve around the Earth.
Correct.
It's the opposite. The Earth revolves around the sun.
It's our solar system, with our planets around our star. It's the way it works.
And, people think that we didn't know that until Copernicus, but, I mean, ancient men
They had a pretty good
knew
idea.
it.
Yeah.
People knew it back in the day. And then during the Dark Ages, I think, some of that got rearranged.
What about, we had
They were
Sherry
taking
Shepherd.
steps back during the Dark Ages.
Yes. Privileged steps went backward.
Okay.
You remember when Sherry Shepherd on The View, I don't think that's in there, where she said that the Earth is like, Whoopi asked her, "What is the world flat?" And she goes, "I don't know." She's like, "Well, what do you think?" I say, "Well, baby, we got to go to the library and find out." I mean, you remember that clip?
I don't.
Oh, it's horrific.
My gosh.
So, I guess this
Isn't it Shaquille O'Neal, though, that thinks the world is flat?
Yeah, he's a flat earther.
No. Shaquille?
He has been a flat earther over the years, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I interviewed Flat Earth Dave, man. I had a long interview with Flat Earth Dave. He made me believe, Pat.
Did he make you believe?
He made me believe.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good.
Shaq said
then
he was
we ended
joking.
the interview.
Shaq said what?
Shaq said he was, quote, "I'm joking, you idiots," end quote.
Okay. Because there's
another basketball player that's
there
really...
were some questions that he had answered once.
Oh, it's Kyrie Irving, right? Okay.
Oh, well, yeah.
That's definitely
Flat
a
Earthers.
Flat Earther. Yeah.
Yeah. Kyrie's serious about it.
Yeah.
I feel like Shaquille was too at one point. That may have changed now.
Yeah.
I'm joking, you idiots, end quote.
Okay, well, you're not. Who are you going to square up on Shaq and call him a liar? No.
No, I want him to buy me a car.
There's not very many men on the planet that are going to do that.
No, true. It's probably
here we go. That's the first part of the. The second part is I said jokingly that when I'm in my bus and I drive from Florida to California, which I do every summer, it seems to be flat. When I'm in my plane and
but he made some other comments about the moon.
Okay.
Where it made you think about him being a flat earther.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was Jack. And I don't remember what it was, but I just feel like
what about the moon could make you think the Earth is flat? That's really weird because the moon doesn't look flat. Well, I guess it kind of does from this angle.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I feel like Flat Earth Dave almost convinced Jeffy that the
Earth is definitely flat.
Okay,
There's
so
no
he's
doubt.
already there.
I'm already
He's
there.
already there.
I don't want to be lumped in with Shaq or Kyrie Irving, but the Earth
No
is
one's
flat.
ever lumped you in with Shaq or Kyrie.
Is Flat Earth Dave, is he the original
I don't know.
head of
he's
the Flat
a big
Earth
one.
Society? Because I talked to him in the 90s, and he was a nut. I don't know if it's Flat Earth Dave, but it was the president of the Flat Earth Society.
I think that's Dave, yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, it started in 1956, the Flat Earth Society.
Jeez. And they've got thousands of members.
They sure do.
Thousands. And there's a lot of people who believe the Earth is flat that aren't members of the Flat Earth Society, too. So it's crazy. So,
which is strange because the Earth is just stays in one place, and the sun
revolves around it.
Around us,
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, let's just see. Just 66% of millennials firmly believe that the Earth is round. Help us. I'm just seeing if there's a...
Flat Earthers believe the Earth is round. It's just flat. It's like a disc.
Okay.
Yes.
Right? I don't think that's what they were.
And it's the way Dave talked about it, going on and on, outside of what we think of, and that's where he believes we have, our UFOs come from, our aliens come from, as the people that are outside of the
disc,
that we know of, because it's just never ending.
The disc is never ending.
Yeah, so we don't know because we don't travel past that, right? There's no way that we travel past that, but they come in. So.
Should write this down. Write this down, Pat.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't see you writing it down.
Nah, I've got it written down in my head. It's in my head.
I've got an interview with Flat Earth Dave on Chewing the Fat. You just go and listen to it.
All right, I'll do that.
He'll convince you.
Okay. Also, there are at least 36 intelligent alien civilizations in our galaxy, according to scientists. It's the oldest and greatest cosmic question of all. Is there anybody out there? For years, all we've had is the Drake equation to help us understand the question, but no indication of an answer. Now, a group of scientists at the University of Nottingham think they've come up with a new cosmic evolution-based calculation, or rather an estimation, that suggests that there are likely at least 36 ongoing intelligent civilizations in our Milky Way galaxy.
Interesting.
I think 36, probably a low number myself, but yeah. But at least that many. Please.
You have an estimate?
In the Milky Way galaxy?
Yeah. Out of hundreds of billions of stars and planets, there's got to be at least 36 civilizations besides ours.
Yeah, and it might, it's could be anything, right?
The solar system, the Milky Way galaxy, is estimated to have 100 to 400 billion stars and roughly 1 exoplanet per star in our galaxy. So that's 400 billion exoplanets.
And 36
Come on.
have life.
That's way low.
Do you have an
right?
estimate, you gentlemen? 36?
I
a million.
I mean, I have
a million planets with life.
Just like these guys will tell you that there's no way. They're just, they're hypothesizing with what they know.
They are.
So,
right. Yeah, and that's what they're doing because we haven't found any.
Right.
We haven't found a single one yet.
Somebody on the show...
we have a tough time to get off the freaking planet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
Right.
It's cloudy. Can't take off.
Somebody had a fun tweet earlier this week where they said, I wonder if aliens have just come here and said, there's not enough intelligent life there, And, we laugh at it. I wonder how accurate that might be, where they're just like, don't bother. We can tinker with that planet, but we're not going to waste our time with those people.
Mm-hmm.
So, Pat,
I
was looking at the franchises, the sports franchises that are worth the most money. And
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys, number one. Dallas Cowboys coming in at number one, $7.64 billion.
And what paid $155 million for that?
That's pretty awesome.
That is a return on investment right there.
Wow.
I know.
That's amazing.
Number two.
Number two, I'm going to say the Yankees, New York Yankees.
Yes, both the Yankees and the Cowboys over $7 billion. $7.01 billion for the New York Yankees.
Is this list just the 4 major sports here in the U.S.? Or
No.
We're talking soccer.
Number 3?
Yeah, Manchester United.
New York Knicks.
Oh, okay.
$6.12 billion.
The New York Knicks, who haven't been worth a darn in how many years? 30?
Then you get
40?
into Barcelona, Real Madrid.
Oh,
they're $4.5 billion.
Wow, they're ahead of Manchester United now?
Oh yeah, Manchester United has dropped way down in the last couple of years. I mean, they're only worth $4 billion.
Oh wow.
So I mean, I don't know. I guess they're thinking about closing up. I might as well just shut the doors. And then you have Golden State Warriors in 6th place with $4.7 billion. Los Angeles Lakers, $4.6 billion. New England Patriots, $4.4 billion. New York Giants, $4.3 billion.
Wow.
And then you get into Bayern Munich. Manchester United is Manchester United FC is in 11th. I said they were in 14th. They're in 11th because Manchester City is 14th. The Rams are 13th, and coming in number 15, the San Francisco 49ers at $3.8 billion.
Where are the Des Moines Barnstormers?
Yeah, where are the Des
They're
Moines
down the list.
Are they?
They're down the list. They're
Did that
just
not print up?
They didn't. I've got the top 15.
It's
I don't
below
have
the
Barnstormers.
fold.
I'll bet they're 16.
Yeah.
I'll bet they're number 16.
Probably.
It's gotta be,
Yeah,
right?
They're
probably.
at $3.9 billion, something like that.
Let me get this.
Just below San Fran.
This
Yeah.
tweet from Pat Head Gilbert is perfect. So 80 million people believe the sun revolves around the earth here in the United States. How many votes did Biden get again? There we go.
Yeah, there you go. It was the butt-stupid Democrats who gave us this brain-dead Marxist in office. Yeah, that would not surprise me, actually.
All
right.
happened.
We've got overtime coming up, and you have a great weekend. We'll see you back here Monday.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.